Good evening. My name is Braden Gansky, and over the past few days, I've been able to dive in deep to our country's history of the 13 colonies. Let me tell you about it. Over 400 years ago, in 1607, John Smith and the Virginia Company of London founded our original 13 colonies. So, how does this have to do anything with us? Well, let me tell you. This has so much to do with us because it shows how we've grown as a country over the past 400 years and where our country comes from. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 13 colonies government system, their laws, and just their day-to-day life. Let's get into it. In the 1700s, Britain controlled all trade in favor of themselves. There was three different types of governments. There was a royal government, a self-governing government, and a proprietary government. A royal government was a colony that was in total control of the king's ruling. A self-governing government, well, that was a colony that was very rare, but the king allowed them to govern themselves and live freely. But that didn't last long due to troublesome behavior in the colonies, and they were forced to go back to a royal government in total control of him. And then there was a proprietary government, which was very few men that were allowed by the king to own land themselves and live freely. Let's get into their laws. So the 13 colonies, there was no real set laws, only commonly known laws from England. Who enforced these laws? Well, the northern colonies had marshals and police forces, while the southern colonies had sheriffs and posses. These people were not appointed by the king, rather appointed themselves because they were worried citizens of these colonies that they were trying to protect their families. If you were caught breaking the commonly known laws, the marshals and sheriffs would punish you to death, whipping, or even mutilation. But they were given a fair chance in front of the legislator that was elected by the community and a governor who was elected and appointed by the king. So let's get into their day-to-day life. Their day-to-day life was very difficult. They were fighting to survive every single day. It was not easy on them. They had to go out and fend for themselves and fight for their families. They couldn't go down the street and buy from the store anymore. They had to make it themselves, and if they couldn't, they had to do without. Servants that came with the colonists were actually let free to own their own land and live on their own, which they didn't have before. Well, what did they do for fun in this time? They either fished, flied kites, practiced music, or many other opportunities that they had to do living a new life, building for their family. Well, I really appreciate everybody's time today, and I hope y'all enjoyed researching this and listening to this as much as I did. Thank y'all.